Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 665 today, doing battle with Vanessa. And so, off to the high seas again, another pirate ship battle with Vanessa, I'm sure, trying to get ourselves back up to legend. And so the ranked reset hits hard, right? You got that sweet ass legend portrait, and they just snatch it right away from you. Such a bummer. They ought to give me a free title for that, right? We're stuck as OG settler with no way to change it. You got to give me OG legend while I'm at it. And I want the bronze, or not the bronze, the diamond skin. The diamond portrait looks way better than the legend one, if you ask old Bust. But with the start here, not a great collection of items. I really like to have a stronger build around item, and we have a lot of supporting items here. Fishing rod just wanting to hang out in the stash. Vanessa's amulet, of course, needs other items to give crit too. So it really just breaks down to the narwhal, which isn't a real item. The only usages I've ever found with narwhal would be with something like mixed messages, to where you use a non-weapon item and you haste a weapon, and then that would power off like astrolabes or power off pufferfish. But with the nerf to mixed messages, to where it's limited in the number of usages, the narwhal doesn't strike me as exciting there. Does have a bunch of tags for something like rowboat, but I don't think rowboat is that challenging to activate. And so with all of those choices, that takes us back to rifle. This is the only remaining real item that's here, which I'm kind of fine with. As far as rifle goes, it does kind of tie in with a lot of single item build around kind of builds. With this quick start here, we'll just take the good experience point. We're going to go 2 experience nodes, 1 shop, and then level 2 into the first PvP round. But no, as you get those opportunities to go single item with this thing, it at least gives us options. You don't have to get stuck in with rifle. It very easily transitions out to like a flagship kind of build, but it's not one of my favorite starting items because it doesn't really let you branch out with other things. But we'll make the most of it, right? When we pick up this fang, that kind of turns off the rifle, and so it doesn't work nearly how I'd want it to. Now, this is an interesting set of nodes. This is one of the opportunities you have to not just autopilot through autopilot through every single starting round, with Curio turning up and giving us access to Gold Cloak, Shadow Cloak, whatever Haste Cloak is called. It's just a very top tier item to pair off with the rifle in the early game. It's going to give us just an exceptional amount of power through the first like 4 or 5 days if it turns up. And even if it doesn't, putting +8, +10 damage or something onto rifle is a pretty big deal. And so I think I'm okay with this, especially if we go into the next round and find like Finn's Big Bite and we're able to tie in regenerate with this rifle. I think it's okay. And so we'll see what a mistake this turns out to be, to not just not just follow the standard path. But let's see, is there anything we ever just use out here? 1% crit doesn't really do it for me at this stage of the game. It's lifting gloves. Lifting gloves is interesting. It is a tool and an apparel. It's not a weapon. I guess it doesn't deal damage. It just gives your weapons damage. But I think that's all we'll take on this first round. None of this is really worth the take otherwise. So let's just skip over those. Anything interesting in here? Oh, the Shadow Cloak turns up. Beautiful. And so definitely want to take it. Definitely want to take the damage thing out of here. We got to start selling some stuff to make this pop. Fang don't want. Lifting gloves we can sell. Get our Shadow Cloak over here with our friend. And then the spiked buckler we can use as well. Got to watch yourself with this dumbass item. It just reads whatever your leftmost item is, and so it will try to upgrade the Shadow Cloak if you leave it to the left. But got that managed. Let's just pick up this point of regenerate as well. Okay, now we're out of money. Give me that Finn's Big Bite. Nope. This game's bullshit. And so, aquatic item it has to be. We don't want to go any of these shops that are selling stuff. We have literal $0. And now let's see how this plays out. Going into this round. Oh, cool. Opponent's only level 1 as well. I wonder if they took the great grand strategies that we took out here. Oh, he's not. He's level 2. Just said he was level 1. Hanging out with the boomerang. He's at least got some useless items out here. The business card or whatever this called doesn't actually do anything. Rewards card. He did land a crit out here though. Still zinged him. Look at that big damage on the rifle coming out. The serious deeps rolling through. And so, good deal. Feels good. Grab those wins. I hope the Chiefs won. I'm recording this before but before the Super Bowl happens, and so well, I got my red hoodie on here, talking about winning. Hopefully the Chiefs are going to do some, at least a little bit, you know. And everyone will be super happy as we record this video. Taylor Swift, super happy. I'm sure she's now engaged to Travis Kelce. You know, they get out there at the end of the game. Chiefs celebrating the three-peat. Trav drops to a knee and gives Taylor that big rock that that she deserves. This is the story that we're hoping happens on on this Monday at 8 a.m. as the video is released. But let's see here. With left eye, right eye, doesn't super matter in terms of the physical item just catching the bonus here. The thing that I'll watch for is we might accidentally have some other items on board. And so if you want to imagine that, I don't know, we have like a rowboat and a rifle and then another item, how would that line up? If we have the shadow cloak still on our rifle, then the rowboat would go to the right, and then another item would go out further to the right. And so we probably want to take the right eye. That's going to give, or no, the left eye. I want the leftmost item to be getting the bonus. I think, I hope, I desire. Seems right with the shadow cloak. All right, now let's catch up on these experience points. Pretty much every single time we come across the opportunity for a monster battle, we're going to take it. Mountain Pass, deadly encounters. Do them pretty much every single time. This experience is so good. Give me them points. All right, nice takedown. Even more experience. Appreciate it, my dude. What's in our bag? Ambergris. Okay. So what's up next? I'm not usually a huge fan of Lick It. It takes too much time and doesn't do enough, and so we'll just skip past it. I like the direction we're going here for a single item kind of build. The Shadow Cloak rifle probably, transitioning over to something like Flagship all sounds good to me. But so I don't want to invest like super heavily in this rifle. So we'll go past it. Non-weapon items should be okay. We do need at least a little bit of other direction out here. I'm just going to pick up these things that'll be, tangentially useful, right? Seashell at least does something. Astrolabe. I like Astrolabe, but it doesn't do anything with our build at the moment. But if we want to, say, like transition to a Weather Glass or transition to a pufferfish build, then Astrolabe becomes pretty important. I think we'll go ahead and take it. We got a bit of time before the next battle rolls around. All right, now with the giant mosquito, if we are going to land on this single weapon kind of build, picking up a rush is ultimately super important. So I'd like to do that. If we don't, insect wings are fine. Keen eye is kind of okay. Lots of good options can drop out of this thing, but rush is the big one. Oh man, I saw the circle come up and it was the wrong one. And keen eye is still fine, but it's not exactly what we were looking for. Let's just take the bronze item. Bayonet, garbage with this build. Alright, so what's up next? Kind of leaning towards the sharpening stone. Passing on the experience point kind of sucks, but the thing that I feel mainly about with Vanessa in this patch is she needs to be winning on like day 10, day 11, day 12. It's very easy to outscale Vanessa's in terms of what she can do, especially with how all of the weapons changed in this patch, right? I think Vanessa is far and away the best mid-game champion in the game. But like day 12, day 13, she really starts to struggle. You might need to, get to day 11 and really be hammering in on that final win, because your opponents are just going to outscale you and there's nothing you can do about it. But the changes to the weapons make it very easy to get to that point. And so I do kind of like the idea of the turbo leveling, but like winning now strikes me as being a bit more important with Vanessa, and so sucks to pass on it. Let's just take the sharpening stone. We're low on money anyways, and we're not going to be able to like completely fill out this board, even if we hit another shop. I can't pass both of these though. We'll take the ruins here. Counting on you to do some major work here, rifle. Can't bring the bayonet in. We'll just sell it. Never use it anyways. All right, says the dude's only level 2. Last round showed that was a lie, and so that was a lie. This guy looks like he's got a lot of items, a lot of power coming on here. A ray, a big rocket launcher and stuff. Hopefully this rifle can take him down before he scales up. Gonna be close. Got him. Astrolabe really doing the work there of nothing. Doing fuck all. Just taking him down with our 2 items. That at least feels pretty good. Like, we would just be rocking these people if we had a crow's nest or something out here, so makes me at least feel a little bit better for the future. Alright. Good deal. Take the last package. Need the gold, need the experience. What's up next? Aquatic items we need to go to. Not a lot of really high-powered things, like we don't want puffer fish and corals and shit, but this is where we can find crow's nest. And so I still will take the life preserver. It's probably the best defensive item that we can get out here in the early game. Just does a lot of work without any necessary help. But this other stuff I don't really want. There was a puffer fish in there. We might have zung past that puffer fish just a little bit too quickly. You know, I could definitely see us carrying with this rifle and this shadow cloak for a little bit, but then needing to transition away later. And so, like, that would have been a decent transition, right? With puffer fish, we already have this seashell we're derping around with. Maybe that would have been a little bit more ideal. But we did it. We're beyond it. Can't change it now. Just move on and move forward. And so I think we can fight this ammo guy. There's a lot of interesting things that can come out of this. If you hit gunner, we can do stuff with it. Gunpowder's fine. Eagle talisman's fine. Being able to put things like haste potions, or come out and put things like what's it called? Like harpoons can all be very useful. But pretty easy takedown with a life preserver. Appreciate that. Gunpowder, nice little pickup. And the upgrades. And so I was going to, make mention that it's one of these interesting spots in upgrading things like the Shadow Cloak. Since it's a Jarvan the 4th item, we can't we can't upgrade it otherwise, right? And so as far as our build goes anyways right now, the rifle can't get upgraded off of this thing, but you might want to upgrade your seashell or something. But the kind of ideas, you can find those naturally. Alright, though. Wonder if we'll be all in on this today.
This will inspire the crew.
Alright, so rifle locked and loaded. Barkham gives us the chance to find that crow's nest. Again, the most important thing we can find. Saw the cove. I get so excited when these things pop up. I'll go ahead and purchase it. It should be a decent financial item, right? We just need a couple of sales to get this back to break even, and then just naturally over the course of the game, this will pay for itself and give us some money later. Nothing out of this shop, though. Bummer. What's last? Looking like we're going to the chocolate bars. All right, do we want 3 bronze chocolate bars, or do we want 5 bronze chocolate bars? The tough decisions of life being brought before you. I went with the 5. It's the big number. Alright, so let's get these things out of here. I have a hard time imagining that this Astrolabe really does anything with our build where it's at, and so we'll at least get the cove in here for some non-useless stuff. Items have 4%, leftmost is on rifle. Okay, that's at least aquatic for this shell. I don't know, maybe these things won't be completely useless. What you got? Bringing the flagship out. We're popping off faster, but he's going to pop off harder. At least the critical thing for us here is he doesn't have Crow's Nest yet. Got him. That Life Preserver putting in the work. I'm not certain how Life Preserver works against things like Flagship, in the sense that I think each individual strike counts, and so it's not like the full Flagship hit comes in and then the Life Preserver pops up at the end. Like with his Flagship on Multicast 3, I think if, say, the first one kills you, then you heal back, and then the second and third one still punch in. So it's not the most premier item to be Life Preserving against, but still got us through at the end of the day. Appreciate that, my friend. All right, now let's hit up the docks. Oh, I forgot, man. I forgot that Astrolabe works the same way as Star Chart. I usually just hang on to Star Charts to get that bonus, but perfect. So what's up next? The ammo thing we're not going to use here. The 4 or fewer items I could technically see us pulling off. But the problem with this thing with Vanessa is it's like very easy to want one large item. You want to pick up Crow's Nest, but after that, the other ones aren't readily available. I think we'll just pick lifting here and kind of get an incidental plus 20 damage onto the weapon at the end of the run. So that looks good. Let's hit this medium item shop. Some juicy will turn up. I do like Rowboat with these kind of builds. It doesn't work spectacularly with rifle, but it does charge it up to some free shots. And especially as you look at our items here, we've got apparel, we've got weapon, we've got aquatic, and we've got vehicle. Property is the last one that we would pick up if a Crow's Nest turns up, and so it should hit on pretty much everything. So let's go ahead and snatch that one up. Running out of money at this point, though. All right, and now we're going to come in and fight the Blood Reef Raider. I do like being able to go to the Boiler Room Brawler and try and pick up haste potions, but we need Crow's Nest more than anything right now. So let's get this Rowboat in. Guess Astrolabe could be a thing at this point. The Astrolabe probably better than Seashell. Questionable. At least make sure that we have the cooldown on Rowboat.
The Blood Reef brooks no weakness.
All right, let's see if he gives us that good stuff. Just getting them pew-pews in with the rifle. Big crit rolling in, that feels good. Zinged him. Zinged him real hard. What you got for us, friend? Powder flask. Alright. Maybe that's useful today. So what's up next? Keep finding these abandoned chests. I think it's okay. We're kind of light on money. It sucks to go to those ammo shops and only be digging for rifle, right? As the only choice to pick up. And so hopefully we don't get stuck with it like that. Within this set, like again, we're going to look to have basically just a Crow's Nest in here and then one more small item. The small item would go next to Rowboat. Try to determine if we want to actually go see Andy or if we'd rather just pick up chocolate bars. At this point, it's probably just chocolate bars. Gotta sell something to make this happen. Seashell can go. It is at least nice with the chocolate bars in the cove. They'll give us 5 gold later whenever we do come around to selling that cove. Okay. Let's boom him. 1 EXP short of the level up. That's, I don't know. We've made decisions. We've made decisions to pass on stuff, and so it's not crazy. What's this, a force field? He's also got the double haste at the start. He's definitely off to the races before we are, but hopefully the rifle will keep his shields in check so he just doesn't get to hit us with big damage on the force field. He's got to get to do some scaling, but we've got the potential to fight through this. Got him. Lick my butt, dude. What's that from? Lick my butt and suck on my balls? That's Team America. There we go. That's what you tell the terrorists to do. They can lick your butt and suck on your balls. All right, all right. Went for the ammo item there. Hopefully we can pick up some useful things like, cooldown reduction, experience points. Like most of these are good. Extract isn't the best one to be hitting at the moment, but maybe when we get stuck with an upgrade, it'll land. So here, I guess we'll take the skills. Like again, Crow's Nest is the big thing to be searching for, but I don't want to be like infinite all in trying to find it, and so we'll take our time. We won't just go ham on those shops. Did pick up our second lifting though, so we're going to be pretty heavily incentivized to just start buying and selling all of the cheaper items, or the cheaper weapons, I should say. Just take the small one out of here. And who do we got here? We're going to be looking at this Harkuvian rocket trooper. He's got some good crit abilities in here. I think he has a shadow cloak, but his shadow cloak is gold. So that's kind of a bummer as far as our upgrades go. Yeah, he's got the gold one, but some of this other stuff will still be fine. We got to get our board cleaned up though before the next round. Like I'd really like to at least get Astrolabe out of here. It's not really doing anything. I gotta wonder if we ever have the like, there has to be a time where you can just go for the rocket launcher, right? It's gotta be. Alright, yeah, I mean, I would love to go to the, well, if we go to the Lost Crate, we'll level up before the next fight. So I think we have to at least take the 1 experience point. Guaranteed to get it there, not guaranteed to get it on this round, which it doesn't turn up. Let's go to the tools. I mean, we're not going to find a crow's nest within this, but maybe something will turn up in here that's just going to be better than Astrolabe. So far, not really. We'll take the powder flask. I don't really see the angle to using those, but maybe it'll be here somewhere. As far as this stuff goes, I'd rather have dock lines than Astrolabe. That sounds fine. I don't think the sextant is going to cut it, though. We've already got 2 items stacked up on the rifle. All right, sell that garbage off. Get the dock lines in.
Save that one from Curio's junkyard. Cleaned up real
And then would we rather, let's see, upgrade an item? Probably just want to keep upgrading Shadow Cloak. I'm curious what the base damage upgrade is on rifle. Hang on. All right, so it'll only pick up 6 attack, right? There's just like literal no reason to upgrade this thing when we're over here stacking off Shadow Cloak on it. And so, yeah, let's upgrade the Shadow Cloak. There is a touch of desire to upgrade Rowboat. At gold, it charges 2 seconds instead of 1 second, so it should give us an instant activation on the rifle. But I want our scaling is coming out of this Shadow Cloak, and so I think that's where we'll stack it for the moment.
The keener the blade, the quicker the fight.
Okay, and then are we happy with our board here? We wanted to just get rid of the Astrolabe, put the dock lines in. I think that's okay. Still kind of stuck with this Life Preserver. Guess we could pull the Life Preserver. It's only giving us 200 health when we have 1400 at this point. So I think that's okay. And then we'll charge the dock lines with the rowboat. Okay.
I may be young for a captain.
Gotta find that crow's nest, though. If we keep saying it, it's bound to happen. So that's just the way life works. We're gonna manifest it. Car Ramrod out here. Is he healing or some shit? Why isn't his health going down faster? Get a lot of health out of that potion, I guess. Got some big slows landing on the good weapons there. He's had to spend a lot of time waiting on his double barrel to recharge as well. Not certain I completely agree with how those items were set up out there. I get that Ramrod charges the weapons to the side, but double barrel's the most important thing there, and letting it sit empty while your shield thing is recharging doesn't seem optimal to me. All right, moving on though. I'm not going to go to the non-weapon item shop just to look for crow's nest. Let's continue to get this experience point out of our astrolabe from the docks. Next set, we can go to sells items. We at least know if there's weapons in here and they don't cost a shitload like Lang Zhang, then they can be a welcome addition to our team. Still looking for a small item to get friendly with as well in the event that we do find our crow's nest. I don't think we're really wanting to switch to submarine. Like, we could. I mean, it scales up better than rifle. It's just like, it's so ultimately so super awkward when you have, say, like submarine and rowboat, and then the only item getting the upgrade is the submarine. I don't know. It's like we are just stuck with these just shitty weapons out here. We just move away from rifle and go into submarine. I don't hate it. Gotta make some space for it. Life preserver can go.
I get it. You're busy.
Okay.
Enjoy your purchase.
And it does at least scale up a little bit better than the rifle does. So hopefully that'll turn out. We gotta make more space. We'll sell powder flask. I want it to be like this for the moment. Submarine, rowboat, dock lines. We'll put the powder flask in just so if our opponent has a freeze or a slow or something, it's at least soaking that up. Then let's fight the foreman. Is there ever a world to where we land on crane and just do obnoxious stuff with crane and rowboat? Like, maybe. I don't hate it. It's on the table. The other interesting thing with this is I'm not entirely certain how that charge with the rowboat goes. Like, I think you just get one usage. And so imagine we have a diamond rowboat and you get a 3-second charge. A 3-second charge on the rifle activates once. It's a 2-second cooldown getting a 3-second charge. It doesn't apply the rest of the charge into another shot later. So stacking in something like the submarine seems like it should be stronger in that sense. We got the chance at a... We should have kept that Chris Army knife. We aren't locked into one weapon now. Alright, though. So the other thing that we could look to do is we don't necessarily have to just chase after crow's nest. Like, I do think we're in a decent spot to just go 4-item build here with the way that this game has gone, but we could still look to, say, use trebuchet. Trebuchet would carry quite a bit of weight with this build as well, and so see how that goes. Kind of doubles up in usefulness with the lifting, putting the weapon damage onto 2 items instead of 1. So maybe something will come out of that. But with this, at the moment, I'm not the hugest fan of haste skills. I do like Aquatic Rush, haste a aquatic item right at the start of the battle, but I'm a little bit more worried about not having enough scaling. And so I think I want to go to either the gold tier or the weapon skill, and then look for one of the things like when you crit, gain attack damage, when you attack, gain attack damage, like those style of things we need. And then as a fallback, we'd want something like crit. And then as a fallback, we'd want something like left item gets plus 20 attack damage. Like, I think those are all fairly reasonable angles to take here. It's just which of these do we want to take on? I think we're more likely to get a useful skill out of weapon skills, but you run into this problem to where they're all lower tier, right? We could have just gone to gold skills and kind of hoped. Maybe we should have gone into gold, but none of these cut it on the first set. And the second one, a couple of things, right? Flurry of Blows is okay. The first 4 times you use a weapon, charge an item. With the way that this build is going, the Flurry of Blows is just going to be charging Rowboat, which is then going to come back and charge our weapons, which is all well and good. There is the best defense when you use a weapon. Weapons adjacent to it get a bonus, but we're not going to put weapons adjacent to each other here. It's going to be like these 3 things to the left, and then to the right we're going to have either a crow's nest or we're going to have a like trebuchet, and so I don't think best defenses will do it. We'll just take the flurry of blows here, and then we'll look to get this dock lines powder flask out of our build. So that seems fine. No need for burn. Let's hit up Kev's armory. Maybe he'll give us something neat. Submarine upgrade's kind of neat, I guess. What's this other thing? It's too bad. You see the shielded stuff turn up. There's a lot of really cool combos we could do with a shielded pistol sword, but it's too late in the game to be pulling that stuff off. Let's still roll. Maybe we get to hit something, right? We can still get $22 out of the cove that we have. Not trying to barrel. I mean, I guess there's a world where we could torpedo. We've already got the powder flask to go with it if we want. Is that what life's about today? We're just gonna put the torpedo in the submarine and go fucking boom. I don't hate it. Let's make some money. We'll get rid of that rifle. It's never coming back in. Torpedo comes in. This is what the build's supposed to be about, right? you put the torpedo out here with the submarine. Now I do have to make sure we have the low cooldown rowboat. We've got the low cooldown even without the rowboat on board. Okay. When you use another aquatic or ammo, it gets 25 damage, and then if the item is large, you reload. You get your reloads off the submarine. Shit, yeah, boys, let's fuck them up. I didn't have shielded torpedoes on the radar of things I was going to be going for today, but that's just the way the shit happens sometimes, huh? See what Armadillo thinks about this. It is nice that the weapons have scaling on their own as well, right? We've got the shadow cloak into the submarine, then the submarine activation's upgrading torpedo a little bit, so we aren't like completely at a loss for not having enough weapon scaling out here. Okay. So I would think the last item we would be looking for here, if this is how we're going to just keep the main part of our build, would just be Vanessa's amulet. That seems like what we're lacking on board right now, is we kind of want haste stuff. Hopefully we can get some more haste stuff out of our skills. We do have the Shadow Cloak landing on submarine, which is pretty decent. And then crit is the big thing we're missing at the moment, though. You want those torpedoes blasting in the billions. Okay, well, we got that direction, huh? Let's hit up this aquatic shop. We can hit both rowboat. We can hit the torpedo out of this. A little interested in Pearl. It's just better than Powder Flask, right? We're not going to use Powder Flask this game, so let's at least get that minor upgrade. Crow's Nest, of course, turns up now. I think this ship is sailed, pun intended, right? We got our submarine ship, we got our rowboat ship. The Crow's Nest ship just not going to cut it today. We need the periscope. We don't need the Crow's Nest, and so we got to skip past that. That's what it's called, right? The viewing port on your submarine. That's that thing that shoots out the top of your submarine. That's the periscope. Pretty certain I nailed that reference, and so I'm pretty certain we got it. What are we doing here? Just hitting the docks? Kind of light on cash. Experience points are always good, so that sounds great to me. Now with this, let's fight the Cosmic Rock. It's got the skill we would really like to tag in here whenever you crit haste an item for 1 second. Which is very powerful if we could pull it off. Yeah, Vanessa's amulet. I think that's where we want to be for this last one. What's the cooldown on this thing? 8 seconds on the torpedo. It's probably a little slow because it's got those shields on it.
Spineless as a jellyfish.
All right. So here, yeah. I mean, I guess silver tier aquatic item. If we're ever just gonna high roll, this is the time. But we'll continue to just take these loots. So all right, in the next set, small items it is. Still want to remember to upgrade our lifting. These 4 gold guys are perfect ways to do that. And then still looking for that Vanessa's amulet out here. Speaking of the devil, of course we got space for it. There it is. Nice. So cool. I think we've kind of full locked in our build here on day 7. Gotta like that. Oh, we even landed a experience point out of our end of round buys. So what do we got here? Let's just keep leveling up. The specific items that we can find are so low chance now that I want to just start taking the guaranteed hits.
I may be young
Okay,
for a captain,
okay,
but
good
I've seen
stuff.
my share of storms.
What do we got out here? Square pig. Pygmalion's life in shambles with the hotfix of Beast of Burden. And so he says, I gotta go back to the old standby. I gotta get the old crook back out since the since the Beast of Burden is gone. Womp womp. Dude fucking zinged us though, that's for certain. Alright, what you got for us? And so the big choices here, it is interesting with this shadow cloak, right? Because it kind of ties in with the item we're using next to it, right? If you're not familiar, it's the on use stuff, right? So when you use the item to the right of this, slow one item for 3 seconds, or we could just take the rando option and potentially get something out of this, but you don't necessarily want to do that, right? Because the submarine, if you look at it, it's going to slow 3 items for 1 second as opposed to just the 1 item that we would have gotten out of that other usage. And so very powerful in that sense. And so I think I'm pretty okay with that, just dropping the heavy onto the submarine. It works reasonably well with the with what our build is trying to do here anyways, right? Just coming out and trying to grind up the stats with the submarine and the torpedo. Would rather have something like, turbo, but I don't think it's worth the dice roll just coming out of the artist. Let me check the rowboat real quick here, though. Rowboat. It's not like a round start kind of thing. And I did see on Reddit, if you look at Vanessa's amulet, I'm thinking, yeah, here you go. When you crit, heal 0. And so there are some kind of awkward things out here with the amulet. Restorative just doesn't do anything. Watch yourself with that one if you're not familiar with it. When you crit, heal 0. Whoops. But yeah, let's get this heavy submarine here, right? Sounds a little dangerous. You never want your boat to be too heavy. You don't want to capsize with this thing, or you're getting your periscope out on the aft of the port side. But hopefully it doesn't harm us too much here. Look at that. Look at all those nautical terms I know.
Sometimes I sell stuff.
That's not what they teach you in West Virginia, but he's out here fucking nailing it. All right, though. Always happy to have wanted poster. Just sit in the bag, generate some experience points. I wasn't willing to spend 8 gold on an upgrade just for 2 damage coming out of the lifting. So we skipped on those weapons just to buy sell. Coming into Cario, though, we should get a bunch of upgrades here, and it will be spectacular if we find some of those things that let you upgrade your slow. So if we can say slow 3 items for 3 seconds, that'll be pretty massive coming out of this submarine. But let's see here. Let's start with the clockwork blades. I think we can.
Clean up the bazaar.
This is just gonna. You can't get it back up to 8. Okay, it doesn't matter where it's sitting. I thought we might be able to push the rowboat into our stash and then have it go to 8, then give it the cooldown. Doesn't look like that's going to be a thing. So we'll take that. The max health one's not interested in. Regen, I'll take. Weapon, I'll take. Crit, we'll take. No heal. Weapon, we'll take. Yeah, we want to stack everything onto submarine. Just in case, we'll move the submarine for the crit. Take the roll. Got any of that good stuff for us here? None of the slow stuff. That's a bummer. So weapon, crit, weapon damage, actual weapon. Yeah, that's a bummer. Sad boy now. Bar of gold. Costs 5 and sells for 5. I've never seen this before in the shop. Going to the junk shop, picking up bars of gold, huh? That's the way some people like to do it, I guess. But all right, let's just jump into the Wandering Shoal. I don't. Oh man, maybe the frigate. I'm trying to think. I don't think it has the large item stuff. It's got fire starter, trebuchet, we're beyond, incendiary rounds. Not it. Okay, thinking of a different boss. So, wandering shoal it will be. Okay, let's see how heavy we can get the opponent's board here. Yeah. Wish it was that we would need like 1 second of slow to really amp up the usage, right? If we're going to be using submarine every second and a half, then getting the 2 seconds of slow would let it start potentially scaling up.
A battle? Maybe a skirmish.
I think it still turned out okay. All right, so at this point, I think we'll just start using the good now things. So let's just take the temporary boost, go plus weapon damage. Just try and end the game as fast as we can. Medium items, I guess we can purchase. We can afford either of these things if they turn up.
Welcome in, hon. What can I get you?
Don't think we're going to convert to Captain's Wheel. It's only going to activate onto the submarine. I guess it does give us faster activations for the torpedo, but I'm okay with passing on that. Let's take the roll. Ramrod, expensive stuff.
You might
Okay.
try JJ's shop.
Bummer.
Real friendly.
So what do we got here? Either weapon skills or Vanessa skills? Man, it's like I know Vanessa has some unique skills that tie in with using torpedoes and submarines, but I'm pretty sure they're all just shitty. Let's just take the weapon skills out of this. Hopefully it's not garbage. 15% crit sounds like what we need. Currently at 25% and 38%. Adding in 15 gets us a little closer to 100, you know? Strength would be ideal. Iron sharpens iron. It's too late in the game to come in and scale up. All right, Deadly Eye. 53% crit on the submarine, 40% on the torpedo.
We're out to dethrone a king.
Let's get him.
not to squabble with nobody.
See how these
Go ahead,
heavies get the job done.
underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
What's this? A little bit of everything, huh? Got the double barrel coming at us and the poison coming at us. See how this plays out. Got stuck with the freeze. You know what we say about half-assed stuff, though, right? The thing that's a real bummer for the opponent here is we're getting all these shields that are basically just stopping the double barrel damage, and so it's just a slow machine at this point, basically. You would prefer to just be dealing all poison or all base damage. Good deal. Got him. So what's up next? Medium items.
No sale.
You going to give us any of these upgrades? If we go to the shop, you got to give us the upgrades eventually, my friends. Nope.
Every item finds its buyer. It's a relationship.
Gonna be sad out here. Take the guaranteed out of the temporary boost, though. Still a pretty decent little round. Now, coming out of these, I guess we'll just continue to the roaming isle. Pharaoh's Khan might have a gold shadow cloak, though. Yeah, it looks like he's got a gold shadow cloak. One shot, one kill doesn't work, but left-handed, right-handed are both good as well. It's like a 30% chance of things we would like compared to 1 experience point for roaming isle. All right, let's battle. See if he one-shots us. So we're strong enough to survive the initial hit now, but you got a 30% chance to crit us, and so we'll see if we'll kill him before that pops off, or if we're just talking to RN Jesus today. Ooh, barely got it. Barely got it before the sniper rifle popped. What you bringing for us? Energy potion? Eh. Not bad, just doesn't fit what we're doing. Alright, skill upgrades. What you got? They both essentially give us 8%. Let's just spread it out. I'm a little bit more interested in the crit landing on the torpedo, I think. Like, I guess at the end of the day, we'll probably just be dealing more damage with the submarine, but with the way damage kind of bounces back and forth, right? We'll deal damage, you'll heal it. We'll deal damage, you'll heal it. We'll deal damage, you'll heal it. There is a little bit of bonus in just blasting that one super big hit out of the torpedo, and not having that back and forth aspect come into play. But if we won the last round, I assure you we're going to win this round, right? Nothing can go wrong. Nothing can go different. He's only got 3 targets for our slows, and so everything should just land where it needs to land. Zinged him. What you got on the second trip here, bro? Give me something good. Shadow Cloak. Appreciate it. Get that all shiny and diamond. Got the diamonds on my apparel now. Very generous of you. All right, up against Pygmalion. See what we can do.
My fight isn't with you, but if you insist.
I should warn you, I'm not like other Jabarians.
What's he doing? Not quite a square. Got the Jabellion drum along with the augmented weaponry up in the skills. See if he can scale up his yo-yo faster than we can scale onto him. It's just such a... I'm still just upset about that curio shop. I feel like we would be winning all of these rounds if our submarine was stacking slow. I mean, he's getting 18 slows across the battle. It is nice getting that full 18 seconds of slow, but it's just not stacking long enough. Sad mouth noises. All right, next set. Continue in with the Jules' shop. Give me them 25 damages, please. What's up next? Just looking at items.
The Bazaar's a crazy place, right?
Ooh, torpedo.
Do you
I dig that.
already?
The scaling on torpedo is actually pretty big, getting an extra 25 weapon damage on activates, and so gotta dig that. Next set, nothing in here. Not gonna spend 16 on a cannon upgrade just for 2 attack. So what's up here? Lots of choices. Like, you can kind of look at Trash Titan. He does have that one skill to where when you use a small item, charge a large item. We would have to swap the amulet out for that. I think we'll just go to Boss Harrow. See if we can't spike the skill for slows. Assault Focus. When a non-weapon item is used, slow it for 2 seconds. I thought he might have something else useful in here. I knew he had a bunch of other slow stuff, but it doesn't do what we want with the submarine.
This ain't over, buddy.
Alright, what you got for us? Bayonet. Oh, we landed it. Assault Focus, nice. So use a non-weapon, slow it for 2 seconds. Now we get to come in and take the upgrade. I'm pretty tempted to just upgrade the rowboat, but... This one's tough. I think we definitely want to take an upgrade over a gold tier skill. Like, we need the guaranteed good stuff. We need this run to end now, right? We don't have much opportunity to beat opponents better than us. It's going to be day 12 at the best before we can win this thing, and we need to just kind of 3-0 and finish it out. So I want to upgrade and get good now. It's tough. Like, those... The activations coming out of rowboat are so big. Like getting that the 2 second charge instead of 1 second. The downside is we don't have a way to haste it at the moment. Like, you'd really prefer this rowboat to be hasted over and over and over again, and that's where the big rowboat combos come from. But we don't have any like turbos. We don't have any way to haste it, and so I'm a little tempted to just upgrade the torpedo to get it up and running, and then if we look to maybe swap out rowboat for a captain's wheel if it turns up, I'm kind of okay with it. So I think that's the path we'll take on this. Look to have the torpedo be our big item at this point. Right now it's getting 75 damage on activate, and hopefully that just helps carry us up the rest of the way.
Any good fights
All right, though, let's jump in on weapons. Got 2 4-golders. Glad to purchase those.
Come back and tell me.
Sell you right away. And everything else is
Okay,
too
will you carry
expensive.
my weapon?
Bummer.
I'll fight alongside you.
Bummer. All right, what's up next? Item upgrades. Okay, okay. So we got to sell a bunch of stuff for this, right? We got to get all this nonsense out of the bag. I think we probably just want to sell wanted poster as well. That's just gonna have the opportunity for like a couple of experience points the rest of the way. And now we should get 2 guaranteed upgrades onto good stuff. So pumped about that. Yeah, didn't hit submarine, which is fine. All right, now we got that upgrade on rowboat as well. Looking pretty shiny on board. Okay, okay. Getting our crits up a little bit. We've got everything we need for success here.
Noticed? I'm huge.
It's another square. Caltrops coming at us. Caltrops we can definitely beat with this build. It doesn't handle this kind of scaling shields. Just in for a long grind on this one. Comes a big torpedo shot. It crit. it crit for a large number, I could tell. Okay, I think we're fine now.
I believed in myself and I still lost.
I believed in myself and I still lost. I'm sorry, Pig. He's been taking notes out of the bust school of life, and I don't know. Probably took him on his iPad instead of writing them down with a pencil and paper. That's why he didn't get it good. Okay, let's get these upgrades. And so yeah, sells items. Not really expecting too much in terms of upgrades here, but let's see what we can buy and sell. Everything's still a little bit expensive.
Okay. It was nice to see you.
And what do we got now? Medium items.
Take your time. I'm pretty laid
I
back.
guess we can buy this
Oh,
8 gold
lure is
stuff.
free. I like the exercise.
All right, and then the captain's wheel does turn up, and so I guess we shouldn't have bought that one item because now we can't afford it. as the diamond captain's wheel turns up, I mean it's not spectacular out here. It does activate, much faster than the rowboat and get many more activations out of the torpedo. I don't know. Maybe I just made it sound like it's way better than way better than the rowboat. But right, we sell for 8. We only get to $31. Could technically sell the amulet, but that seems awfully greedy. All right, I think we're just stuck. But it's just it's just such the downside going with the captain's wheel when we're already getting hastes onto the submarine. Right, it stacks haste with the cloak. It doesn't need any more help, and so it's just a way to haste the torpedo at that point. All right, so what's up next? No need to go to Boss Harrow anymore. I'm already happy with the assault focus, so we'll just fight the Void Golem. The Caltrops are defeatable. Just losing the submarine might not be defeatable, though. Yeah, I felt pretty good about the Caltrops. Now I got to feel kind of bad about everything else happening out here. I guess this wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. Whoops. Little bit of a whoops.
It's just one battle. Plenty more coming.
Alright, so what's up next? Gold items. I mean, maybe. Be 24 for a submarine, 8. Okay, we can afford this stuff if it hits. Missed on the first one. Missed on the second one. This game's dumb. What you got now? Go into the diamond tier skills, I believe. It's just we got so bummed out in the last run that we recorded with the diamond skills because we had to take the fucking heavy envelope. But I think it's just something like strength is still reasonable. Getting this flat 25 across the board. I don't think I'm willing to roll this. Right, landing on something like iron sharpens iron on the second roll just not that good. Just a bunch of shit in here like burn stuff, poison stuff. I think we just have to accept that, 25 is not that bad. Now here, we'll just take the skill upgrades. Happy with our board. It's going to be expensive to actually land on something. And now, this is actually pretty interesting, right? With the flurry of blows lasting 8 times. So when you use the weapon, charge the rowboat.
bury them.
Can't afford it? Are you fucking kidding me? It would have been interesting. All right, up against Pygmalion again.
I may be
Why's our
young
money
for
so
a
fucked?
captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
What you got? A lot of red items out here. The Jabellian drum again. See if our shield scaling holds up for us. His weapons are getting strong super fast. Get a big crit out of this torpedo ASAP. ASAP it more. It did not. It did not ASAP it. Bummer. So close. All right, enchantment shop. What do you got? More shields? I don't want more shields. All right, well, we'll just put it on the cloak. When you use just
I'm
such
on
a
the edge of the plank.
doesn't feel worth it all. Whenever the submarine activates, we get 20 shield. It's the same as putting it on rowboat or the amulet. It's gonna be shitty either way, but this is not the way that Vanessa carries herself from 7 to 10 when we really need the help.
Well, howdy here.
All right, off to Curio. You finally got the bonuses? Fuck you, dude. What more can you say about it? All right, so we'll take the cooldowns, the buckler,
See that find off?
the regen.
Crash is tragedy. Reuse
Let's take a roll from this point. Just fucking is what it is, I guess. Sell these dumb things. What do we got? Cooldown, crit,
there 20 years.
weapon,
Waiting for you.
big weapon,
Now that's a bargain.
little weapon.
Well, you're doing your
I mean, it's
part to clean up
decent in terms of just upgrading our raw stats on board, but the big thing we've been looking for turn after turn after turn is a way to upgrade this slow, and just missing it over and over again. It's kind of a bummer. The improvised bludgeon doesn't want to be a part of our day. All right, though. Continue on, I guess. Be sad about it. Watch these freezes come over us. Here comes the big crit on the torpedo if you want to see it. Here it comes, huh?
Good fighter. Impressed.
And the iceberg. I don't think that's in the cards for today, but it's always an option. Just getting mega slow stuff with the iceberg hitting and the submarine hitting. I guess they're potentially kind of a non-bow. It's very easy to be both frozen and slowed at the same time, which doesn't stack in a meaningful way.
It's huge. It's
All
terrifying.
right, what do we got here? Garbage on the first shop, garbage on the second.
Truly a tool of the gods.
Got decent money at this point. I'll at least buy the 8 gold thing.
Blah, blah, blah. Bye.
Okay, then I think we want to go to sells items. Again, the very, very real chance the run just ends on this round, and so let's get as good as we can before it all comes crashing down. We should be able to buy the chum. Does this give me a diamond piranha or a bronze piranha? It should be diamond, right? So you can buy it for 16 and then just resell it back for 16. All right, good deal. And then last set,
So,
8
how about this
gold.
weather where- Oh, you're leaving.
16 gold. That's going to be as good as it gets before this last battle. All right, well, what do we got? Another Pygmalion. You see lots of pigs out here at the end.
Not to
He
squat
scales up so much better than we do.
You do see
What do we got? Is this the exact same guy? He's got the gem. Yeah, this has just been such a frustrating round of Pygmalions to run up against. Like, this is why it's so important to win early and win fast. It's like not only does Pygmalion, scale better than us, he's got 12k health without a or he's got 10k health without any assistance on board, so he's got essentially double the health from us. His scaling is better than our scaling, but when you sit and take a look at some of this stuff, we are just out here struggling, right? The things that we were looking for over and over and over again are just like, give me a basic way to upgrade my slow and give me a way to scale my crit, and we never really found it throughout the course of the game. But we're up here looking at this guy. His diamond skill was knife tricks, just the best thing in the game. He's got bonk, right? He's got all these really super high-powered things, and that's just one of the kind of is what it is aspects of the game in terms of getting into late days. You're gonna roll against people that rolled higher than you, but the power level of those high rolls scales more and more and more as the days go on, and so it's like a kind of a double whammy for Vanessa in the sense that
Each bounty gets us
she scales
closer to
worse
victory.
than all of these other people, and if you don't high roll and they do, then you're just getting blasted twice. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with how this build went. The other thing to really kind of call out what we faced here at the end of the days is I don't know if this is just kind of like one of the things you run into, in the sense that back when we played Legends of Runeterra, you would very, very, very often see this effect to where Mega Mogwai would release a video, and then the next day you would play against that deck in like 10% of your games. And then Mega Mogwai would release another video the next day, you would play against that same deck like 10, 15, 20% of your games. And it's like you would see a deck pop up and you'd be like, I get the concept, but this deck is shit. And then, like, why do I keep seeing it? Why do I keep seeing it? And then it's like you go and look at Mega Mogwai's YouTube channel and it's that deck, and you're like, oh, click, that makes sense. And so I'm curious with these, like, last few rounds, as we faced off against, like, 4 or 5 Pygmalions, and they were all either going, like, Jabellion Drum, or they were going Pig's Armory, or they were going some kind of flavor of Crook Ataladdle. Like, that was what we faced, I believe, like the last 6 rounds that we saw. Like, I'm curious if like Crypt made a video or Northern Lion made a video or something to where they were advertising the strength of Pig's gym or like Weapon Pig or something, and that's why we just ran into it so much. I don't know if it was a function of the community or a function of just RNG slamming us hard right at the end, because that was the thing that really hurts with this, is we are out here with this very weapon focused build, and then having assault focus to shut down things like pufferfish builds, to run into those weapon builds to where a lot of our build just doesn't do anything was a real pain point. But at the end of the day, the positives to call out with this, the things that went good, the things that went well, I think that this is actually fine. I've been kind of wanting to wait and see if Submarine ever kind of comes in and pops off. It feels like with the way that the damage has started to flatten out, the Submarine does have a lot of potential to be good here. I think the thing with Submarine, though, is you really need an activator. You need a thing that the Submarine itself is doing, and I'm not certain if that entirely exists in the game. And what I mean by that is, like, if you want to say, look at a build like using Weatherglass Barrel, to where you have a 5x multicast Weatherglass next to a barrel. Whenever the multiglass or the Weatherglass activates, you get 5 activations on the barrel. It helps scale it up super fast. You can see the very similar things with like flagship builds, to where you get flagship next to an on-use item, or what you see more commonly with flagship is when you use a weapon, it gets +3 attack, or when you crit, your weapons get bonus damage, and so the flagship attacks a whole bunch of time. It gets all those bonuses. I think we needed something like that with this build. The something like that we have is the torpedo, right? When you use the aquatic item, then you get the bonuses onto the torpedo. But I don't think the submarine wants the torpedo to be it. It needs something a little bit better to do. It's not to say that you can't be successful with the torpedo here, because I do like this lineup of submarine, torpedo with rowboat in the middle, but it needs just some kind of on-use effect that's better than cloak, right? Just scaling up damage on cloak should be something that you can do with a skill. And then if you're doing the same thing with a skill, then that gives us 2 extra spaces on the board to do something with. So you could say, okay, well, now if I don't need the Shadow Cloak, I can cut Shadow Cloak and Amulet for something like Crow's Nest. And then if I have Crow's Nest, then maybe I replace this like torpedo with something else, or I just enjoy all the crit that it brings. And so, like the idea here is good, but the build just isn't good enough with the items that we have on board here for submarine to be successful. We could be doing like the exact same thing with flagship, but flagship just does it better. So that's thing number one. Thing number two, it wasn't the strongest showcase of the rowboat here, but I will say that I do like rowboat. It does need haste to be good. I think that that's the kicker of problems that we actually have here is that rowboat doesn't look super successful with the way that it's activating here. The full 4-second activation to put the 2 charge isn't quite good enough. I think we need to either be in the space to where at the end game like this, rowboat is either diamond, to where when rowboat activates, submarine most certainly activates regardless of haste, and then also torpedo comes very close to activating. But the thing to really kind of keep in mind with rowboat was what we talked about with Captain's Wheel, in the sense that ideally over the course of the game, you're going to find ways to haste your items. Captain's Wheel putting haste on items that already has haste isn't that great, and so having the rowboat give out charges to your items that already have haste doesn't make it so you're over hasting and wasting all of those stats. And so ideally it should be good here, but I think at the end of the day, if you're going to have torpedo out here with it, you probably just want Captain's Wheel. And then if you have Captain's Wheel putting haste on the submarine, you would ideally just be able to pull this cloak out and put some other kind of weapon scaling in. And so I think that's what the real build should look like. Is probably like submarine, Captain's Wheel, torpedo, and then something that isn't Shadow Cloak. And then I think you might be kind of off to the races there. But nonetheless, you know, we got the 7 wins. We got the 2 stars at the end of the victory. We got a little bit closer to legend. Had a little bit of fun doing it. So, good stuff. I had fun with that. Hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, hope you learned a thing or two along the way. You had a good time watching. This is Busted Me. Thank you for being here.